So you think you can tell heaven from hell, blue skies from pain? Can you tell a green field from a cold steel rail, a smile from a veil? Do you think you can tell? Did they get you to trade your heroes for ghosts, hot ashes for trees, hot air for a cool breeze, cold comfort for change? And did you exchange and walk on part in the war for lead role in the cage?
We're here to prove that whatever cup you love, iced coffee, please.
I wanna ask you, why'd you do that anyway? You know, I thought things were fine just yesterday. Woman, you've gotta tell me, I can't spend one more night, baby, sleeping in this lonely bed. You know, I lay here thinking about what you did. You know, I know it was wrong, baby, but I'm ready to forgive. Baby, you've gotta tell me what's going through your head. Can't spend one more night. Ooh, sleeping in this lonely bed.
Albert Cummings. Lonely bed. hard to turn off old Albert Cummings. Lonely Bed, isn't it, Rhea? Sorry, man, I blasted over the top of you. Couldn't help it, though. No matter what I do, whenever I play this song on the show, I never play it this deep into the song. So people never get a chance to hear some of this ripping that's going on right now, including me.
Yeah, he's got some finger action going, man.
That's one way of putting it for sure. He's a finger man. He's finger licking good. Like Kentucky Fried Chicken. This Saturday night, if you said, fuck it, let's go get a bucket. Just laying back, eating some Kentucky Fried Chicken, getting your fingers greasy. Well, you come to the right place.
Oh, you know, I used to like Kentucky Fried Chicken.
Me too, dude.
And, you know, back in the day when I was a kid, but it's not really chickens anymore.
Well, the thing is, man, they changed the name of the fucker. It used to be Kentucky Fried Chicken. Right.
Yeah.
Well, now it's KFC because it's not
Can't
chicken.
find no chicken anywhere.
It's not chicken anymore, my man.
Right? You can't find chicken.
Well, you know, it's not chicken. It's not fish. But every now and then I get a hankering, you know. And I, like the other day, for example, there comes a moment in time where I'm just thinking, fuck, I need to get some original recipe right now. You know? But first of all, the Kentucky Fried Chicken nearest me is not a drive-thru, so that's the first negative. So I'm already on point, you know what I mean? I'm already kind of on the fence. It's not going to take much to dissuade me now at this point because it's already not a drive-thru, and then I got to drive all the way there and then get out and go mingle with the people that enjoy Kentucky Fried Chicken. You know what I mean? It's a dangerous fucking situation. I mean, when I used to live in East Palo Alto when I was in my young 20s. And there was literally a Kentucky Fried Chicken there with fucking bulletproof glass all the way to the ceiling, and it had a spin around thing that they would put the chicken in this thing and spin it around like a revolving door. But anyway, the point is, I'm already on the fence about going there because I have to. It's not a drive-thru, so now anything at all now can throw it into a spizzy. Okay, so I go up on the internet and I look for a coupon. Okay, I get over to Kentucky Fried Chicken's website, and the first fucking thing I see is buckets are $46, dude.
Yeah.
$46. I mean, that's you get corn, you get a big bag.
Yeah,
of
you get your corn, you get some mashed potatoes.
Yeah, you get
some biscuits.
Some genetically modified corn. And you get some powdered mashed potatoes, and then you get some biscuits. All for a mere $46 fucking dollars, dude.
I remember when the bucket was $10.99.
Yeah, $12. We used to say, hey man, let's go get a bucket of veins. You know, because you used to eat that shit and there'd be like a random vein in there, get stuck between your teeth. You know what I mean? That shit was finger looking good back in the day, though. Back when it really was chicken.
Yeah, it was good. I liked the original recipe, extra crispy. But I always liked the honey barbecue wings they had, man. They always had like the best honey barbecue.
See, I don't venture off the path, dude. I don't like anything new. Original recipe, I'm there. You know, start getting spicy and crispy and all this other shit. No.
No, just the wings, just the honey barbecue wings.
You don't
they were
fuck
killer.
with a good thing, man. You don't. Well, wings are a whole other thing.
Yeah, exactly.
But let me just say, man, when you go there and get tenders now, when you get a bag of tenders, and you look over there and you see a bag of tater tots, potatoes. Is $9 for a fucking bag of potatoes. Okay, tater tots. And I go over here and I see a bag of chicken wings, boneless, for $3.99. There's like 20 of them in there. Okay, so the first thing that's running through my mind is where the fuck did these things come from? Because they might not be chickens. You know, this might be some of those boneless rat fillets or whatever that I've heard about. How is chicken cheaper than fucking potatoes, bro?
Because it ain't chicken.
I don't think it is. I'm starting to wonder, like, when was it that they just shifted over to this shit that's not what they say it is, but...
Have you ever actually seen one of those imposter chickens? Like a live one? I mean, they are actual, like, creatures, but...
They just don't have legs or beaks?
Well, they have like really stubby little legs.
They have no feet, that's what it is. It's the feet.
Yeah, they have like stumps. They have no... I mean, their wings are small.
Isn't that shit called PK-39?
Yeah, something like that, yeah.
That creature.
That creature,
yes. It's a PK-39, I think that's what
that poor facsimile of a chicken.
It's fucking disgusting, dude. I mean, seriously. I mean, when I think back to that show we did where you went and did that chunk on how many different fucking... I mean, people are worried about getting vaccinated. People are worried about Michelle Pfeiffer.
Yeah.
Well, Michelle Pfeiffer's been all over that. She's been all over that food, man. Like 50 things in like a thing that weighs 2 pounds.
Yeah, well, it was actually like twice the chick's weight. In every day for the first 6 days. So like twice the actual chick's weight of juice that they gave the chick.
Listen, man, I used to fucking feed Noah chicken. Okay, I never bought that dog food ever in his whole life. Okay, he got fucking chicken every day. Chicken breasts. I would go get chicken breasts. Okay, I get like a package, bunch of them. Anyways, I cook that shit every single day. Now, I started buying these ones over at this local, grocery chain. And I started noticing first of all, these fucking breasts were they were literally gigantor. They were fucking like, I swear to God, man, these breasts had to be like a half a pound a piece or 3/4 of a pound or a pound.
Yeah, I mean, you don't usually see D-cup chickens, man.
No, that's what I'm saying. So that was my first thing about it, but I wasn't going to personally eat it. Like at that time when I was feeding him chicken, I would never even fucking eat chicken. I wouldn't even get in the same room with it. Because I couldn't stand the smell of it. I had to cook it every fucking day. I cooked this food fresh every day. I know. It's a sad commentary, but it's the way I did it. But anyway, the point is these breasts, I would notice that when I would cut them, I couldn't cut them right. They just wouldn't cut. The texture of the fucking thing was not like meat. And it was disgusting, man. There was no way that I would eat that shit. Personally, I would not eat it.
Yeah, I don't really do chicken. Not too much anymore.
Like I say, occasionally I get a hankering, dude. You know what I mean? For a nice, if you were to ask me, like what kind of chicken, because people are from all over the world that hear the show, all over the country, all over the world. Listen, if you want the best fucking chicken you've ever had in your life, go find yourself some broasted chicken. Broasted. I'm telling you right now. That shit is good.
It's we actually have over here in the Northeast, and I don't know I think it's kind of regional. We have these blue chickens up here, and the blue chickens are very tasty. The feathers are actually like bluish. They're not white chickens like what you think chicken looks like. They're no foghorn leghorns. They're blue chickens, man. They're legitimately blue chickens.
I used to go to this place called Speedy's Chicken in Redwood City, California. And let me tell you something. I wasn't the only person that went there. The whole fucking San Francisco Giants, Willie Mays used to go in this motherfucker. Okay? You would go in there, man, and I shit you not. You would go in there for $6, dude. You would get like a half a fucking chicken and this giant pile of tater tots, man. So we used to go in there after, band practice. We'd take a break, and everybody that was at band practice would all go to this fucking place. And that was back when I was drinking, and everybody was drinking. So by the time we got there, we were drunk, but they served beer there too. So by the time we were done, I swear to God, because everybody would just get a whole chicken, it was cheap. So everybody that was at the table got a whole chicken. So by the time it was done, there'd be this giant fucking pile of bones on the middle of this table. And I'm going to tell you, that chicken was good, and it was good for many years until one day I went over there, and it was gone, dude. It was absolutely gone. And so there is no broasted chicken within 50 miles of my house. Makes me feel like starting a broasted chicken stand. You can get a broasted chicken machine for a little under $3,000, and you don't even have to modify for a hood. A lot of times when you have a restaurant, you got to go through all these changes with a hood and all this shit. This thing has a fucking it's a self-contained unit somehow. It's like $3,000. Somehow, I don't know even what I don't even know what they do to broasted chicken. Somehow it's in this boiling vat of fucking oil. And it has this pressurized lid on top of it. So it's like somehow it's boiled and pressurized somehow.
It's like a pressure cooker chicken?
Fuck, I don't know what it is, dude, but whatever it is, it literally just, it scorches that skin somehow, and all the juices stay in there. So like when it
I'm gonna look this up because I'm kind of curious what this broasting is.
I'm telling you right now, man. Listen, it comes out and it's like a golden brown, and the skin on it, the skin on it, dude. I think these people, I don't know what they put on that skin. It might have been some sort of, I don't know what it was.
Okay, so you fry it in a pressure cooker. That's what it's.
See?
Deep fried in a pressure cooker.
See? I'm telling you, man, it sears that fucking skin on there, and it seals in all the juicy tastiness. So when you pierce that skin with your teeth, it just pours out. Damn. See, Friday nights are for food. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm with you on that. The Friday night food chat.
It's too bad Polly's not here.
He might be. He might show up.
Yeah, maybe he's broasting some chicken right now.
Yeah, he could be.
Well,
I'll tell you though. I don't buy it. I never buy chicken to cook for myself. I do turkey. Twice a year I'll get a whole turkey. One for Thanksgiving, one around Easter time, because that's when they give them away. And that's pretty much the only bird I eat on a regular basis. But we do have, sometimes I'll do duck or something like that, but I'm not a chicken guy. I don't know. I just not into it. I used to eat a lot more of it, but because it's not real bird anymore, I don't want to eat like genetically modified, mutated animals.
I know. Well, I don't know, man. There's really, honestly, I don't see how there's a way around it at this point, because there's no way to know. They don't have to label that shit.
Oh, there is a way around it, man. Eat steak.
Yeah, but I mean, when you go there, look, I'm with you on the eat steak. I mean, because you live in a certain place, man. So you can, when you say I eat steak, it's a lot different than somebody just going to the fucking grocery store and getting a steak. Because you go to the kosher deli or whatever, and you get the good meat and all that, you know. But most people just go to the grocery store. You know what I mean? And that fucking shit at the grocery store, take a whiff of that hamburger. If you buy a hamburger, take a whiff of that shit when you go home. It smells like death, man. It's rotten. You know what I mean? I mean, you're.
What store are you shopping at out there?
I'm just saying, anywhere.
What's your local grocery store, though?
It doesn't even matter what store I go to. It's all the same.
Yeah.
It's that stink. That
See,
fucking
like around
stench.
here, like a lot. I mean, if you go to the like Wally World, their meat smells bad,
dude.
But one of the good things about ShopRite in this area is they get all their produce and a lot of their meat from local farms. So, like, you know, yeah, you're getting your beef at the grocery store, but it came from the guy that's 15 minutes up the road.
Listen, when I was probably like 19 or 20 years old. I was working for this dude at this place called the Palo Alto Beef Company. And I was going around and I was selling these boxes of meat. All right, so I'd roll up on an office complex, with the dentist offices and all that kind of shit, lawyers and all that. And I'd go in there with these boxes of meat. I'd sell these boxes of meat. And I made money for a quick time, but then after a while it got to be tiresome and I was going to quit. And he says to me, he says, "Listen, Jimmy, I like you, and you need a job, don't you?" And I said, "Yeah, I need a job." He said, "Okay, well, listen, I'm going to give you a job back here in the back. You don't have to sell the meat, but just go back there and you can package it, package the meat." And I go, "Okay, let's go back in there." So he gives me this fucking job. And I worked there for about 2 weeks, I think. I don't even know if I made it 2 weeks. I might not even have made it 2 weeks, but let's just say 2 weeks. And in that 2 weeks, dude, okay, butchering meat and standing in there with these fucking rubber boots on, there's blood all over the floor and shit. And it's refrigerated, okay, but it still fucking stinks from the blood in there. Giant fucking flies, dude. Flies like 2 inches long, just so fucking fat from eating that blood. There's like, they look like hummingbirds. They're just flying like slow and low, dude. I couldn't take it, man. And ever since then, it's like when the radiator blew up in my face on my 17th birthday. I could smell an overheating car from like 100 yards away. Same thing with that stink.
Mm-hmm.
From that working at that job when I was 20 years old, I still smell it.
Yeah, there's nothing worse than rotting flesh, man.
Yeah, that that fucking stink. Anyways, so if you can afford to have good steak, like somehow you figure out how to buy it, you can just make your own burger.
Yeah, you just get yourself a little hand grinder.
Yeah, just get a grinder, At this point, you could probably buy some nice shit pretty cheap. People probably selling nice shit cheap right now, trying to get rid of it, trying to make some money.
It's actually, one thing I've considered adding to my kitchen. I don't have is a grinder, but like when I make chops steak, like sometimes I'll chop it up myself. I just do it with a knife, man. I just cut it up real fine and kind of shred it.
Oh, dude, you should just go get yourself some good shit.
I should just go get a grinder, but
should just invest. We have some good shit. I can't think of the name of it right now. My mom's got the fucking best of everything, fucking cooking tools, man, in there in the kitchen.
No, I got a lot of good stuff too in the kitchen. It's just the meat grinder is one thing I don't have.
She's got this fucking, I can't remember the name of it. Anyways, here, hang on. I got to go in there and get a cup of coffee. Anyways, I'll go in and look at this shit. It's like it's the top of the line shit for cooking. But you can use it. It's a mixing bowl. It's a fucking grinder. It's whatever if you've got to buy these, tools that go.
Oh, is it one like a KitchenAid mixer kind of thing?
Exactly what it is, a KitchenAid.
Oh yeah, they have the grinder attachment for KitchenAid.
Fuck yeah, it's got the sausage attachment too.
Yep. I know.
You can fucking make your own sausages, eh? Let me go get some coffee. Now listen. Last night I took the black pill part off of the title of the show and I just put Rock and Rio's Reverse Perverse. Because really, I mean, it was like 2 hours of reverse perverse. And hopefully, you know, we talked about it last night. Just let our friends know here in the chat room that was the Hijackers finale. I mean, that was the, what do they call that?
The grand exit stage left.
No, that was a 3-act play with the Hijacker there. And, you know, his time has been, you know, exacerbated. So he's going to have to take a break for a while.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, not that I really dislike the guy, but
no, I don't dislike him. That's what I say. I let him. I
don't think he really adds anything, you know.
No, I let him on here. You know, I know Hijacker way before he was ever on here. I've heard the Hijacker over the years, so I mean, I know who he is, and like I say, I don't have a problem with him because some people hate him, some people love him. You know, it doesn't really make any difference because it's, you know, ultimately it's about the conversation we're having around whatever it is that's happening. So even though you might not like him and you might not like even what we're necessarily focusing on, the main thing to look for is what we're actually saying in the whole thing, because it's reality, man. It's like, you know, this show, listen, believe me, we could sit here and fucking read news stories all day long. I mean, if I brought 5 news stories here, we wouldn't even get through the first one before conversations would start.
Oh,
you know
absolutely.
what I mean? So
we used to do that actually once in a while. Just, you know, pull up some random news stories and talk about them.
Yeah, the thing is though, the show is like, we're going through everything that you guys are going through too. We have different experiences, you know, that we can bring to the table as far as like dissecting some of this shit. But I mean, the people that listen and the people that tune in all the time, and the people that are around, everything is like a family here. You know what I mean? So yeah, Hijacker was here for 3 shows, but he was going through some shit or whatever, you know, on the air. Like, that's the thing, is like he was having a crisis in faith on the air, and we were all having a discussion about it. So even if you don't like the Hijacker, and so on and so forth, you got to understand this is fucking real life shit. Man, he's having a crisis on the air, and we're on the air. Talk to him. Just like, man, we were on Aftermath, man. This lady called in like 3 times to want to commit suicide.
Yeah, I remember that. And then we let her on and hopefully talked her down. I mean, I don't know whatever finally happened there, but
yeah. Anyways, the point is that, yeah, man, I mean,
sometimes people need a little extra help for their guidance, you know.
Mm-hmm. But I'm just saying, it's you know, it may be the news, maybe it's not the news. It might be the Hijacker. Who the fuck knows? It might be Dr. Kevin McCarran. I haven't been bringing any guests on for the last fucking, I don't even know how long, 9 months, 6 months, something like that. It was the last time we had a guest on here. You know? So, yeah, I mean, wow. You know, we just been kind of, you know, hanging out. I don't know what else to say about it, really. I mean, you know, it was what it was.
Well, I think it was good, you know, and I did my best to keep it tactful and respectful, you know.
Well, it's over now. That's the main thing. For some people in the chat. I know, I saw the comments or whatever, so I'm addressing some things that were said specifically in my little rant. Listen, I gotta bust off and get some coffee immediately because it's sitting in there, and I got this shit. It's called Intenso.
Intenso, huh? Is that the K cup stuff, or is that you get some real coffee going?
No, it's real coffee. But it, you know, the thing is, I have to go through the motions for real coffee. have to boil water. I have to fucking
Yeah, but it's so much more worth it than them little stinky cups, man.
Yeah, but you know what it means? It means I have to put down the mic and go in the house and make my coffee. And I can't just go and just make my hot piss right here.
Yeah.
The shit that comes out here is hot piss. The stuff that comes in the house is good coffee. That's where I keep my good coffee. When my mom goes to buy coffee, she buys shit. I buy the serious gourmet coffee because I like to taste my coffee when I'm drinking it. But what I'm talking about right now ain't the coffee in my kitchen, man. It's the fact that you're going to have to hang on to the mic while I jump off.
Oh, I mean, I can do that. Okay. Just, don't be gone for 2 hours. Man.
We'll see. Yeah, we'll see. I'll be right back.
All right, so coffee, yeah. A lot of food talk tonight, right? Chickens, coffee, whatever. Mystic Mary should come on again. Yeah, maybe at some point. I just no, I'm not real down with that whole scene myself, so I kind of sit out and relax when that's on. I know some of you guys enjoy it, but I don't really dig it. But that's just me. So I'm kind of curious, as to what will come of what we did last night. Maybe it'll have some effect, hopefully positive one. Maybe not. I don't know. No, I do not live with my mom. Well, Jimmy does, yes. Jimmy's mother is in her 80s, I believe. So, yeah, he does. Who else have I reversed lately? Not too many people. I kind of spent the week focusing on stuff with Hijacker because, it's believe it or not, it's actually like hard to get a good chunk on like normal people. Normal being an operative term. Like when I do, the celebrities or Biden or those people, there's so much in there. It's actually harder to pick what to cut out than what to use. But when you do like normal people, there's, finding like large enough sections to actually work with can be difficult. Like, even though that, I had all that material that was pretty, like a pretty solid chunk with him. I mean, there was a lot of gaps in there that just were nothing. So, I have to kind of cut that out and add it all together. But, you knew I would say that. Yeah, well, I guess I do. I've actually been thinking on, believe it or not, because there's this whole speculation of King Charles. I got to get used to calling him the King because he, but Charles over there in England, I was thinking about doing him, looking into that because there's this whole like speculation about him being the Antichrist has been a big thing in the media circles lately, and I don't really think he is. I don't think he's quite the guy. There's a lot of things that point to him being associated maybe or involved with that kind of stuff, and he's just a character I've never really looked at. So, now he's got this whole COP28 thing coming up in a couple weeks, and which is climate change nonsense and that kind of stuff. So, I think I forget when it is. It's like the third week in November that the climate change council gets together and meets. So I was considering doing like some King Charles for that, and maybe. Let's see. He's and I know he's a character who's all into. I mean, if you actually watch the coronation, there's all sorts of occult stuff, symbolism, and weird stuff that goes on behind the scenes. So I figured he'd be a good candidate. Just because I've never really looked at him, and he's something different. I mean, we've done like Joe Biden so many times. I mean, and it's kind of good to keep up on what nonsense Biden is spewing, but Charles will definitely be something I have not looked at. And he's got this whole thing now. He's got this thing going with the Pope, and he's got this thing going with Bill Gates, and there's some tie-ins there. So I'm sure there'll be something good there to do.
Charles can kiss my white Irish ass.
Yeah, well, he's your king now, Irishman.
He's not my king.
Yeah, well, technically he's all of our kings.
I'll chop his head off.
Right? He's. See, most people don't realize that, but the United States of America is a corporate entity that does answer to the King of England or Queen of England. So technically, he is our king, unspokenly, but
no.
Yep. That's it's a weird situation. We're not quite as independent as you think because our government still pays royalty to the royals.
No shit.
Yeah.
This whole thing was set up like it is to be like it is.
Mm-hmm.
George Washington, when he refused the crown, was a ritual.
Yes, it was. That's right.
Oh, really? What was it? What ritual was it?
Well, see, if George took the crown, then he would be betraying the crown, right? So by denying the crown, he managed to keep the crown in place.
Mm-hmm. And where does that ritual originate from, though?
I don't actually know where it comes from, but I know that's the situation.
Well, it's a Egyptian ritual.
Is it? Okay.
Mm-hmm. And it's as you go through several of these different trials, the crown portion of the ritual is only one part of it. But it's also there along the way. It's just like every other Masonic ritual. Along the way, you have potential to fail, and most people fail. They don't make it through.
Yeah, it's a loyalty test, basically.
Well, I guess it could be, but the rest of it is, there it has to do with crossing you have to cross through, and you're in the dark. You're crossing through a moat of snakes and lizards and reptiles and stuff, and then you move on to the crown portion of it. But it's more than just the refusal of the crown. The actual ritual is you're presented by the queen of this so-called king, and she presents you with the idea that if you will kill the king and get the crown, that's really where the refusal comes. But ultimately, everyone points at George Washington and say he refused the crown, so that's why he's a good guy or whatever. But he was for the most part the richest man in the world for a really long time.
Yeah, most people don't know that he was a pot farmer too.
Was he?
Yeah, that's how he made his money. He had hemp fields.
He chopped down a cherry tree.
Yeah. That's. I don't think. Well, I maybe cut down some cherry trees on his property when he was making room for the hemp.
When he was cutting wood for his teeth.
Yeah.
And
he did actually have wooden teeth. He had
know.
wooden dentures, not actually like wooden teeth, but wooden dentures.
And he was poking the slaves too. He actually made the slave. He actually pulled some slave teeth and made himself some teeth. Believe it or not. He pulled some. He said, "Hey man, come here," and grabbed some dude and pulled his teeth out, and made his own teeth.
Yeah, he was a good thinker in a lot of ways, And
well,
he does deserve some credit for the setup, but all those guys, Washington, Franklin, Jefferson, Hamilton, they were all Freemasons, man. They all had their secrets and they all had their hidden loyalties. They're the ones who set up the illusion, as it were, right? The illusion of freedom that we live under. But if the illusion is good enough, it is real, right? It can be reality if it appears real enough. It's reality in your mind. Isn't that the way it works?
Yeah, but I would say that, the freedom that they created is the freedom for themselves, and that everybody else is under a whole different system. So every single Freemason hall or property in the United States is a country in and of it to itself. In other words, when you're a Freemason, that's what it means. It means you're free. It means you're not in this. You're not in this thing that we're all in, unless you're part of that particular club or whatever.
That's right.
But that's, if you're ever running, if you're ever in a, what was that movie with the two chicks going across the country in that car?
Thelma and Louise.
Yeah. If you got a Thelma and Louise moment, run into a Freemason hall. It's a sovereign country. They can't come in there. Cops. Well, maybe if they're a Mason, they might. If they're Mason cops, they might be able to come in there. But they can't arrest you under the law.
Under their law, yeah.
Right, under the regular law.
Because they can't do any harm to each other.
That's right. It's good to be in a club.
Yeah. I'm not in that club.
We did that show. As a matter of fact, now that I'm recalling it,
mm-hmm.
I brought up this whole ritual thing with Leo Zagami when he was on here.
Yeah, that was way back on TFR, I think.
Yeah.
Did that.
I was testing your knowledge to see if you remembered.
Yeah, I remember.
You didn't remember.
I don't remember details. I'm very bad with that. Like I remember I'll either remember really specific details or no details at all. Like there's like no in between. I don't remember like half of it. I either get the general concept and don't remember, the fine stuff, or I remember the fine stuff but don't get the general knowledge part.
Should we just call Epic Journeyman just out of the blue?
Yeah, I guess we could
call him. See if you can just call him.
It's about time. He should be getting home now.
Oh fuck! He's out swinging in his hammock eating tacos.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. Today's Saturday, not Friday. He's not in the jungle.
He's probably working overtime down at the local hotel.
He might be
with all the women that leave after a week, looking for a love affair.
He's got a green light.
They're looking for a love affair with the Epic Journeyman over there on the islands.
Yeah, let me see. I'll add him to the call.
Just add him, yeah. Just fuck with him if he comes on.
Yeah, let's see.
Dude, he was out of his fucking mind with that shit last night, man. Did you listen to that show? You should
I didn't
listen to the first hour of that show, man. Epic, literally, he goes wild on that fucking Robert Card thing. He's like, it's this, it's that. They got a red flag law, but it's got a yellow flag. His name's Card. And he's playing 2 games, and both games have cards. They have frames. I'm like, what the fuck is he talking about? Epic Journeyman, are you there?
Yeah, sometimes he just, there he is.
There he is.
Wow.
We were just talking about you. Oh, you didn't get on. Is he on?
Well, he answered, but he did. He
answered, but he hung
take
up.
a moment to get the helmet together.
He answered. He's like, "Fuck, they're on the air.
They're on the air."
No, don't ever call me and put me on the air like that. It's uncouth. I always, let someone know. So I don't blame him if he doesn't come on. We're just fucking with him because it's Saturday night and we can.
Oh, maybe he didn't actually answer. Maybe it's just the way Skype is now. It shows it's dialing or
he didn't answer
or whatever.
We should just start making some prank calls to people.
Yeah, just start making some random numbers.
Just prank calls. Just prank calls. Okay, hey, man.
Let's see, who's in my list that we could prank call?
Fuck, dude. Everybody's in my list. There he is.
There he is.
What's going on, man? It's in the AM sometime.
We were fucking. We were just fucking with you, calling you out of the blue. We're on the air. So,
nice.
Yeah, we're on YouTube. We were just saying you were going crazy last night with the fucking Robert Card shit. It's like
I was. Here, let me go get on my other headset. I'll call back, or I'll do the conversation.
Yeah.
All right. Be back.
Yeah.
I think we woke him up. He was taking a little nap.
We woke his ass up. He was in the hammock.
Snoozing in the hammock. You know, it was supposed to be nice here today. It was supposed to be our, our end of summer. You know, that last week that happens on occasion. The politically incorrect term, I guess, is Indian summer, but it was warm. It was in the in the high 70s, but it was like cloudy and drizzly all day, so it wasn't really it wasn't a great day to be outside, but sure over there when the sun is shining and it's 70 degrees every day, and you get your hammock strung up between the palm trees and your little fruity umbrella drinks.
Yeah, well, it's going to be 30-something degrees here tomorrow morning when I'm doing a wake and bake at 8 in the morning.
I know it's going to get cold here again soon.
Yeah, well,
it's 62 right now.
I'm not looking forward to it. I'll tell you that right now. I'm already starting to wince thinking about it. I just had to go in and get my extra thick hoodie for the freezing cold.
You gotta get yourself some electric socks and underwear, man. And plug them into your USB port on your computer.
I got an electric coat. Doesn't work that good. It's all right. I mean, it's all right. It's like the seat heater in my car. It works. I can feel the heat, but it's better than nothing, I suppose. Well, listen. What the fuck, Chuck?
What?
So, Epic Journeyman will be joining us here momentarily. Let me play some music, man. Let me see here. Let me see what Nah, I don't want to listen to no Level 42. Could have played it before, but I didn't. I'm actually at the end of my rope at this point.
Well, have you ever? There's a band that's that we have over here. I mean, I guess they're like a national band, but Sum 41, right? So there's Sum 41 and Level 42.
Yeah, there is.
And say, alright, love is kinda crazy with a spooky little girl like you. You always keep me guessing, I never seem to know what you are thinking. And if some fella looks at you, it's for sure your little eye will be a winking.
That's right. Forgot we were doing a show.
Atlanta rhythm section, man. How
Man,
can you
better
turn
not,
them off? I know.
Better not play no more music. Otherwise, it'll be all for naught. Like last week, we started talking about something, and we started playing a bunch of music. And by the time the next day happened, fucking there was like 9 songs on there. By the time I delete 9 songs, it's 2 months from now. That's how long it takes to fucking delete a song off there.
Mm-hmm.
1 song. Takes a fucking whole day till we get 1 song off of there. Literally. Anyway. Doesn't matter. Hopefully, those 2 songs didn't get us busted. Well, we've enjoyed it. Yeah, go ahead. We were saying...
Atlanta rhythm section, man. That's a band. I mean, what's funny about that band is that nobody knows who they are off the top of their head, generally speaking, and nobody turns them off once they start playing. It's like it's one of those things, you know. Yeah. Where'd they go, man? They were like they were everywhere for a while, right?
Yeah.
And then unplugged one day, basically.
They just disappeared, never to be heard from again. And you're standing
Moved them out.
Standing next to him, standing next to the guy at the grocery store, didn't even know it.
And that's totally the way it is too. Like especially here, like dude, you can't say anything. Never talk bad about somebody. You shouldn't do that in general, but don't do it here in Maui or on the Big Island or wherever, because that guy is going to be next to you in the grocery store. That's just how it is, right? Or you'll be sitting down somewhere. It's like this is a witness protection program for disappearing artists, right?
Mm-hmm. Well, you were going crazy on that Robert Card thing last night at the beginning of the show. I thought it was funny. I was listening to it. I was going, fuck, man. You were like connecting this dot and that dot and this dot and the other dot. It was like, well, they got a red flag law, but it's, it's a yellow flag. But the
yellow flag, yeah.
His name's Card, and he's playing 2 games that have cards. And, now he's got frames. Both frames.
Yeah.
And I was like, what the fuck? You're going crazy, man. It was a good show, though. I thought I didn't only listen to the first hour before I got sidetracked. But
I listened to a little bit of it last night, to the end of it there.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't since the beginning. Yeah, the beginning was funny because I did think about that a lot going into the day, because I knew they were going to catch him. I was suspicious he was already dead, right? Like, in other words, they already knew he was dead, right? And then they lifted the lockdown on the city, but hadn't caught him yet. I'm like, nah, they already got him. They already know, right? And it turns out they found the dude in the dumpster. That's going to play into this somehow, dude. But I was thinking the narrative was so consistent.
He's a dumpster diving cornholer.
Yeah. I mean, literally, man, literally. And the whole thing I even looked up the whole history of cornhole, the game, right?
Yeah, it's basically like beanbag toss.
Yeah. And then how that ties into frames. I mean, how unusual that is. That's why it stuck out to me that a frame of bowling, right? You play bowling in frames. I'm the 10th frame of bowling, right? You play frames of cornhole. Where else does that happen? Where, right? So it's like emphasizing the word.
It's emphasizing the frame, right?
Frames of Cornhole by Epic Journeyman.
That's my third album. Frames of Cornhole.
It's like a Midwest thing, like like my brother-in-law is from Ohio, so
he plays cornhole.
They cornholed out there.
Your brother got cornholed?
Well, not like that, but that's that's a common thing in Ohio. Indiana,
what do? You drink
Illinois.
Beer and go get cornholed?
No, they have it's a giant beanbag, and they fill it with corn, like hard corn kernels, and they toss it into. It's kind of like playing horseshoes, except it's a board with a hole in it, and you throw the corn bag in it.
Yeah, and they have one on each side, right? So like one side throws to the other side. They're both 30 feet away, and it's dude. The whole thing they had a league, right? But what really got me going is I ended up spending like an hour on YouTube, not YouTube, but Google and stuff looking for it. Because I had a memory of. And I know you guys probably share this memory with people in the audience. There's a Looney Tunes episode. I think it's Daffy Duck. I'm not sure. Daffy Duck. I know it's a Looney Tunes episode. It's one of the ones. There's several that are that way, but which the hillbillies, they're like starving, right? There's a definite one like that, but it's Starving Hillbillies is definitely one of them. And the one guy, the long beard and hair and stuff, there's just a couple of guys, right, in the cabin. And one of the guys has like a hearing aid and uses a corn cob as a hearing aid. It's a hearing aid. And the fact that he was getting this fit for this hearing aid and was going deaf, and he shot the deaf sign language instructor. Another thing that got me
he had a
thinking,
corn cob in his ear?
Yeah. In the cartoon. Not the guy in real life, but in the cartoon. So I was looking for that.
Why do they call it cornhole? Because the corn comes out the hole?
The corn and the beanbags, the
corn. You throw the corn bag at the hole.
So the corn comes out of the hole. That's why they call it the corn hole. Because when you eat corn, typically it doesn't digest.
That's why you call your butt a cornhole.
Well, that's what I mean.
Well, yeah. What's funny is that the other nickname for the game is cornholio, like based on the Beavis and Butthead thing.
Pee-pee from my bumhole.
So when you live in Hawaii, if you live in Ohio, you call your buddies up and go, "What's up? You want to go down and play some cornholio? Drink a few beers?"
Totally, man. I'm thinking more like rural Arkansas or something. But yeah, because of this cartoon. Again, this is the thing about the hillbillies in the cartoon with the cornhole, or not cornhole, the corn cob hearing aid. Because that image, like I was just thinking how the whole thing was based on this. We talk about mimetic engineering all the time. This isn't really mimetic engineering. It's something similar though. Like these images are going to be remembered in the brain, in our minds for generations about this reporting of this event, and the associations that are made. I mean, but it is like the 3 Days of the Condor or whatever, where they're I guess that's which one it was. One of those spy novels back in the day, turned to a book or made into a movie. That it's putting this information out there in the ether through media to cue something up, right? Because it's just too weird and consistent. I mean, why would you bring that up? Like it was so important. It was in a cornhole league, Why? Why is that so important? Yeah. But anyway, he's gone now. But I do think that's the next thing. The next, before, like we're talking about serial killers being the event of the day that drove newspapers and kept people locked up inside back in New York or major cities, San Francisco with the what should we call it? Can't think of his name right now.
Hello? Hey, who? What's up? Nothing, B. Just watching the game, having a bud. What's up with you? Nothing. Watching the game, having a bud. True. What's up? Yo, who's that? Yo, pick up the phone. Hello? What's that? What's up? Yo, where's Dookie? Yo, Dookie. Yo. What's that? What's that? Hold on. Hello? So what's up, B? Watching the game, having a bud.
What's up? Everybody in America was doing that too, man.
Oh, they were. Well, and that's another aspect that I'm getting to about this a little bit is how I can force start a trend. Like, sometimes it works and sometimes that is a good example of mimetic engineering, actually, where something started and it was engineered to start that way. And it doesn't always work. Like, the macho, Putin playing hockey didn't work, but the bare-chested horseback riding image did, right? It's that kind of thing. It's hit and miss. But this thing, it was weird. It was
Did
weird
they
to me.
legalize weed over there yet, over in Hawaii?
But what about the weed in Hawaii?
Did they legalize it?
No, they haven't legalized weed in Hawaii. It's the most amazing thing to me, especially now. Like the whole island is traumatized by losing the city. It'd be a perfect time to do it now.
I think they should, number one, legalize weed, and number two, legalize gambling. And I think you'd see a spike in the amount of visitors you had.
Well, isn't one of the prominent strains, it's called Maui Wowie?
Yeah, big time.
Well, it used to be back in like the 70s or whatever.
Yeah.
Now there's
Maui
just now there's just like a million fucking names.
Yeah, I had a friend who was a Maui grower back in the day. When I was a young lad, his like a family friend. He was in his 20s, and so he started his weed farm here in Maui, and so I had that connection back when I was in high school. It's funny because I don't.
It just seems to me, man, if you got a piece of land in Hawaii and you're not growing weed, I mean, what the fuck's the matter with you? You don't have to do anything. And this shit probably grows.
I should grow to my land, right?
I know. You should get Polly to send you some seeds, man. Polly will send you seeds.
Hey, Polly, send me some seeds.
He totally will. Polly, send the journeyman some seeds, man. Polly, give the journeyman your journey. You have to give him your address, dude.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
No, I mean do it in Skype.
Yeah. Not
oh yeah, right. No, for sure. Because I'm telling you, man, it's amazing how few people smoke over here. I smelled some yesterday, actually. Somebody smoking somewhere in the complex. And it's like the first time since I've been here in Maui. It's surprising to me, actually. That you'd think like everybody would be.
Well, now that it's legalized over here in like New York and New Jersey, they've actually gotten to the point where the road signs, the big yellow highway signs, all now say things like, driving high is still intoxication and all this other stuff. Keep it at home. And
Rich wants seeds now too. Rich Polly will give seeds to certain people once a couple times a year, I think. I don't know if it's the seed season, but Rich wants some seeds too. Epic Journeyman, Polly sent me some seeds, so nothing to worry about.
I can totally see the Santa Cruz backyard full of plants, man.
Oh, dude, man.
That's the same dude. He moved to California in Julian and started his weed farm there. And I went out back. I was like 15 years old, and this thing was like 12 feet tall, man. It was like this huge. It was like, how you have a cornfield. His whole backyard was like full of these huge plants, man. I'm like, it was the days before indigo, right? So I was younger than that, probably even. And so, and then he moved to Maui, back to Maui.
Polly says he has 30 strains, man. You should pick him a strain that'll grow good in that wet, damp, dank soil.
Right, the Big Island volcanic soil, such as it is. My soil is based on all the lawn mowing that I do. That I just did the grass on the ground.
You can do no wrong, dude. Man, you should be planting yourself a fucking permaculture garden where you're growing fruits and shit all over your berries and shit all over your property, so you could just live on there. Just fucking.
I should totally. And then I'll have my carp pond, not carp. It'll be a some other kind of hardy fish, right?
You can have a pond.
Well, not on purpose. I have a concrete pad where my house is supposed to be. I bought it. That was already poured, and I have like the temporary house. It's my full-time house right now. And I always joke that's my cement pond because it gets full of water. It's got the lip around it, right? So it's only 4 inches deep.
Well, Rio could grow some, but he has a season, so he has to fucking.
It's permanent there, man. You're talking like I could totally sustain it.
No, dude, and I swear to God, man. I mean, when I cut off my plants, when it's time to harvest the plants or whatever, they could keep growing. If the season wasn't over, they would just keep getting bigger and bigger. You know what I mean? They grow for like 90 days and they're done.
Yeah, here it's a yearly thing.
Yeah, you'd have to do it like, once a year. But see, I got hosed, man, 2 years ago. I didn't grow anything this year because last year there was like a freak rainstorm, and so there wasn't sufficient airflow. And because that rainstorm got on my flowers, I lost almost half of my crop to this mold, man. That got in my flowers. So I don't know how do you, I wonder how you get around that on the islands with all that rain. So there must be sufficient airflow, like the wind has to be blowing around your plants so they dry out.
No, it's especially now, like since the eruption a couple years ago, it altered the climate where I'm at. So to the better. Like, so now it rains less. So it used to rain like 89 inches a year. It's a lot, right? And but it's still been sunny during the day, but it rained a lot. Now it's like half of that. Still a lot, but it's sunny most of the time. Like, and yeah, it'll definitely dry out. Like, it'll do well there. It will. Which is, it's like I said, it's surprising to me there's not more people growing there, because it doesn't really matter if it's legal or illegal. I mean, nobody's coming to your house, generally speaking, and looking in your yard, you know? I mean, it's not that kind of place, especially, you know, we don't have street light. Like, I have electricity and all that stuff, but there's no street lights on my block or anywhere in my neighborhood, that whole neighborhood where I live. So it's not like somebody's going to feel pretty good about walking around and trespassing in somebody's yard and get shot, you know?
That's
or
what
just be attacked by a pit bull or something. You know?
That's what used to happen up here in the mountains in Santa Cruz. The city or the county wouldn't even go up there to fuck with you if you were building on the land, because you couldn't go up there because people were growing weed back in the day. They're still growing weed now, but it's different. But I'm sure they got guns. I'm sure people steal your weed. You know.
Yeah, your biggest threat here is sorry, that's me opening a beer since it's late in the afternoon. I can have one. Yeah, it's different nowadays, right? Like I mean, dogs, man. You got to worry about dogs. That's what you got to worry about, especially there. Like that's what you worry about. You might get shot too, but it's the dogs, man.
Down boy.
That's what you have to worry about.
Down boy.
Yeah. Commander.
That shit's fun. I gotta say, man, that shit makes me laugh. When I was listening to it, I forgot about it. And then all of a sudden, Rio was saying something about something, and that dog came in. It fucking made me laugh. Something about that just makes me laugh.
Well, the hypothesis that I put forward, that we've talked a little bit before, but it came out weird, but talked about a little bit before, it is, I think it's going to that next level, you know, and I think this upcoming war we're going to have is going to put it in play where, remember we had the DC sniper and all that stuff, and it's two guys hanging out and just driving around.
Yeah, I was going to bring that up last night.
So imagine now that two things could happen. One is that when we go to war with Iran, which we are, right, which is, it's inevitable, right? Then they deploy 20 teams of snipers all around the country, just shooting people every day here in America, right? Imagine how it's going to go over. I mean, what's going to happen here, right? But if that doesn't happen, this thing with the old cornhole guy here, with Robert Card, is putting it in our minds, because think about if they hadn't caught him yet. Here's an army trained sniper. He was a firearms training guy. He's armed with a sniper rifle, right? Out in the woods. I mean, very much First Blood, Sylvester Stallone kind of premise, right? In that case, you could just shoot them all, pick them off one by one as they come look for him in the woods. But what if he decided to leave Maine and go to Massachusetts? What if he decided to go from Massachusetts down to North Carolina? What if he decided to go from North Carolina down to Colorado? He just constantly on the move and shooting 20 people in every city. That's the kind of thing. It's like the next.
That would turn him into like Zodiac too.
Yeah, Zodiac is what I was thinking of earlier with San Francisco, right? So imagine that. I think that's the next step, because before it was the serial killer that haunted a whole neighborhood in New York or whatever, wherever he's at, in maybe California or some city or whatever. And it was pretty local though, right? And it still is to this day. That's what surprises me. And then you have this mass shooter, which dominates the news cycle for that day or series of days till they catch the guy. But then what about you don't catch the guy? What if it's a serial killer who goes city to city and shoots 20 people in every city?
Well, that would
totally
be the big break. Thing. The big break in it would be that the person doesn't get killed. Because normally what happens with this shit, they don't even go to court. They just get killed. Or they go to court and just languish until you forget about it. And then you just see them and they're all sitting there all drugged out or whatever. But I mean, this is the thing. The thing is they couldn't let something like that go on too long, because it would infer the incompetence of the system to be able to find somebody. You know what I mean? If somebody could move so freely like that back and forth, if somebody could move that freely around and shoot people and just move around, it'd make the law enforcement apparatus look silly, wouldn't it?
Well, and it's totally plausible, though. That's the thing, especially if you had what I fear is the state-sponsored terrorism teams of people doing that. Because that totally be legitimately hard to nail down, right? They just drive into town. They're not seen by the people they shoot. They're snipers, right? They just pick off a bunch of people at a baseball game or whatever.
Yeah, that's.
But what about a guy like this who's trained in here you have all this stuff about him being psychotic and had a psychotic break, but he's also trained and knows what he's doing. And instead of marching into the building and being seen by people, he's just again picking them off at a distance and going to the next town. Nobody ever gets the license.
That's what I mean. That was what was so terrifying about that about those snipers. Those two people, because and the thing was the news was nonstop, from one shooting to the next. If you watched Fox or any of that shit, it was all that. You know what I mean? It was all that from shooting to shooting. It's like he was at the Home Depot, Yeah,
and they kept it on like 24/7 too.
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
The whole time that was going on, I was just sitting there watching the news, waiting for the next, thing to happen. They were taking the fear porn to like, Ron Jeremy level. Yeah, no, yeah, yeah. It was like this. They go like this. He was driving a white van. There's like 10 million white fucking vans. Every van is white.
And it ends up being a car.
I know. He's in a white.
Yeah, right.
He's in a white van. All of a sudden, the people are just pulling people. They were pulling people over, weren't they? They're just like,
oh yeah, anybody who had a white van was getting yanked to the side.
They were shooting up white vans. I think I remember there was like a news story. There was like some Mexican ladies. They were house cleaners, and they were in a white van, and the cops like shot this white van up, and it was just some cleaning ladies. It was going around cleaning off.
Dios mío.
In a white van.
I want to see that. It's just reminiscent of the great book, which was turned into the movie, and the second movie is better than the first in terms of better portrayed the book. Who Goes There, right? Which is the thing, where it could be anybody, right? It's suspicious of everybody, right? That was
that's
whole,
what I mean. Yeah,
thing.
That's what I mean. He was in a white van. He was a, what is the most common thing? He had a beard. Dark hair, kind of tall.
Kenny Loggins on loose.
He's in a white van. Rio, how many white vans is white not the most popular color in van?
It probably, yeah.
Well, you are the automotive go-to guy on this show, and that's why I'm going to you right now saying, Rio, if I say he's in a white van, what are the chances you're going to see 5 white vans right after you hear that on the radio in your car?
Oh, yeah, pretty good, I would say.
Exactly.
Head down, right? Yeah, exactly. Every white van, you're going to be putting your head down and driving away and skulking off. Yeah, no, it's. I'm telling you, like this is the way.
Imagine
we're
the calls coming in for people on their cell phones. I just saw a white van going by. I'm on the freeway. Oh, wait a minute.
Police roll on their eyes.
There's another one.
There's 40 million of them in America, right?
No, seriously, that was scary, especially if you're on the East Coast. Like, where was it? It was just mostly in the Beltway. It's mostly in DC. It was mostly
DC. I think there's a couple in Virginia proper, right? Mm-hmm. And that was the thing, because they're mobile. It's a vehicle, but it turned out not to be a white van, right? They had that little portal windows, drilled into the side of the car, so they could just drive from the car, be laid down prone in the car, get their shot off, and drive off.
Wasn't there
nothing ever happened?
Wasn't there some cornhole going on with that?
Yeah, yes, there was actually.
He was playing cornhole too, but it was a different kind, was it? It
was a different kind. Yeah, the one guy was a demented ex-army guy, actually, as I recall, and he the kid was 17. He's still not really a kid, but
so he didn't 17. Shoot anybody, did he?
And he taught the other kid, the kid, to shoot all his people. Yeah, I think he took shots too, but he was taking other kind of shots.
So wait a minute, he made the kid shoot?
Yeah.
We ought to do a show on this, man, because I don't remember that part of it, but I bet it would be a good show.
Yeah, so he ended up having this homosexual relationship with this kid, and taught the kid to be the shooter, so he would be the one pulling off the rounds, right?
So he was because he was young and he wouldn't have to go to prison for life.
He was 17. Yeah, he was 17. Right. So, and it might have been 16 when they started, right? There's a weird thing talking about that actually that I want to bring up because it's just weird. It has nothing to do with shooting people. The new Speaker of the House with the obscure name Johnson, whatever. Like he's your landscaper, or he's your painter, or whatever. Nobody's ever heard of before. Did you know this guy has this adopted son that is race shouldn't play a role or anything like that. I'm not saying this, but he adopted this 14-year-old black kid when he was 25. So his adopted son is dude, the guy's gay, man.
Let me just say this, man. Did you know this?
The thing is, he has this. They call it a covenant relationship or a covenant marriage with his hot wife. He has his totally hot wife, but it's his beard, dude. The guy, it totally, man.
Well, let me tell you this, man. Did you know that guy used to run an amusement park, a theme park called
even weirder,
Noah's Ark. Noah's Ark theme park.
Oh, he ran that? Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah.
That's what I hear.
That was
Anyways, the
obscure.
rumor has it. I haven't typed it into Google, but you could right now and see.
Yeah, I could actually.
Why don't you? And we'll find out if
What's
it's
his
real.
name? Jim Jordan?
No, it's not Jim Jordan. It's Johnson, right? I can't even remember his name right now. It's so obscure. Nobody ever heard of the guy before he suddenly became.
Mike Johnson.
Yeah, Speaker
Mike
of the House.
Johnson.
Yeah,
Hi.
I was listening to him the other day. He's
Rick.
actually got potential because he's a good speaker. He has a good voice, actually. So it's suited for the event, right?
He should get a better.
Maybe I should take his little inauguration speech and reverse it.
Yes,
Do
you
it
should.
right now.
See how
Organic.
straight up he is. Right?
Organic Sharpton right now.
Organic Sharpton.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, listen,
Dude,
man. They
there's
might as
something
well have
spooky about
named.
that guy.
They might as
He's a
well
Ted
have named.
Haggard kind of guy.
They might as
Ted
well have
Haggard
named
and
this guy Richard
Craig.
Morningwood.
Morningwood.
Richard Morningwood. His friends call him Dick.
Right.
No,
that's why I called
Mike
Little Richard was
Johnson.
called that. He didn't like me called Little Dick,
Mike Johnson. What did that black lady say? It's too white, it's too uptight, and it ain't right or some shit like that. Did you hear that?
There's all kinds of kinds of warning signs here that are just not even warning signs. What do you call it? Too many flags, yellow flags. May not be red flags. They're yellow flags, right? About this guy.
No, there was some lady. There was some lady that was making a speech, and she said something about. She made these 3 rhymes. I can't think of what it was. It was funny though. It was funny. I heard Michelle Obama went on stage with Bruce Springsteen. Did you hear that? I don't know if it's true, but I heard it was true.
It happened, but yeah,
she jammed
I
on stage with him, from what I hear. I'm not sure what song, but I don't know, man.
You guys ever seen Bruce Springsteen in
Google.
concert? It's
No,
amazing,
I don't like Bruce,
Google it.
I didn't either. I still don't. I owned Born in the USA briefly in the 80s. But
See,
not
S90, S90, the Ark encounter. Yeah, Noah's Ark. Exactly. What did I say?
You said Noah's Ark.
Oh, I did.
Ark
Noah's Ark,
Encounter.
Yeah.
Ark Encounter. Yeah, that's what it was called.
He has some.
That takes on a
He
whole new
believes
meaning
in
if you're some kind of
he-
child molester dude.
He believes in some.
Yeah.
He believes in some weird shit too. There's something about the. He has some belief about the Earth that's weird.
What, that it's flat or hollow?
No,
something
it's-
like that.
Yeah, some shit like something strange about the Earth that I can't put my finger on what it was. Now I saw it in passing. I didn't pay attention to it because I saw it at the same place I saw this about the Ark thing. I saw the other thing about his some belief. He belongs to some group that believes something weird about the Earth. I can't remember what it was. Something
The cornholers.
for some
Society.
yeah, the cornholers. Yeah. No, for some reason I'm thinking it's has something to do with the center Earth, but I can't really remember. Like I said,
Hollow Earth.
Might be something like that.
Or Big Earth, maybe.
Nah, I don't know. Who the fuck knows? It doesn't matter. He's just some dude up there, and he's gonna bow down to whoever has to bow down to.
I wonder how long it's going to last, right?
Well,
Because
yeah.
I mean, if this is making the rounds now about the 14-year-old adopted son and bringing up the suspicion of him, that's just not going to fly.
Listen, I remember the way it used to be about these speakers of the House. That's a really super important position. That was, it was held by Pelosi. Who else was in there? Newt Gingrich.
Newt Gingrich, he got removed eventually, yeah. But
I'm just saying, all these people, and then when they were getting ready to put somebody in there, it was like this major thing. It wasn't a joke like it seemed like in the last, year.
It's totally a joke right now. Yeah,
it's literally a fucking joke. I mean, you're telling me this. There's nobody willing to step up and be the Speaker of the House and put themselves up there, and I mean, it's sad, man. I mean, I don't know, man. I honestly, on some level, I wonder why I even talk about it at all. Because
well,
I mean,
you know what it is, though, is Steve Bannon. I know we keep bringing. I keep bringing him up. He doesn't want there to be a Speaker of the House. He wants to tear it all down, right? So this suits him perfectly well. There not to be a Speaker, because as long as there's not a Speaker, there's not a government. You can't finance a government, and that's what he wants to do, right? And him and Dugan. That's their plan, is to take apart America from the inside.
When it says, when it says "we the people," who's the people they're talking about?
Yeah,
Is it
them? Right?
Exactly.
We is them.
That's right. They ain't talk about us. We're not the people, so the paper don't apply to us, right? Apparently. So I mean, realistically, I mean, I know people don't like it when I say it, and I don't really care, because realistically. In the times that we're living in, we should have quantum identification, and we should just vote directly on everything. And we should...
Yeah, Congress shouldn't exist, actually.
Exactly.
Senate can still be there, because let's get the educated guys in the Senate to be like the...
Congress,
check,
get them out.
But congressmen, yeah. And in fact, if we use the First Amendment, is what people think it is. The First Amendment of the Constitution isn't actually freedom of speech and all that stuff. The original First Amendment was never ratified. And what it was that there's one representative for every 40,000 people.
Mm-hmm.
If we did that, we'd have 40-some-odd-thousand representatives right now, and you wouldn't have these powerful people that shouldn't be powerful, like Boebert or whoever. Right? They're just crazy people, Matt Gaetz or whatever, who caused this whole thing in the first place.
Mm-hmm.
If you had 40,000 representatives, then
it's bullshit.
It balanced out. Yeah, they couldn't all be on Fox News the same day.
No, and the thing is, man, it's ridiculous, because realistically, all you really have is some characters that are in the party that get repeatedly put and run across the news, and those are the speakers that you hear from that are in there. But really, there's hundreds of people in there that you don't ever hear from. You never hear a word out of them. All they do is submit a vote and sit there and take lobbyists. The other thing is, people really want to change the country, man. Get rid of this fucking corporations or people bullshit.
Yeah, Citizens United.
No, corporations are not people, so they don't. Once they're not people, they don't have the ability to lobby your Congress people. Get rid of the fucking and put a Tobin tax on all transactions on Wall Street. Those two things right there will end most of the fucking shit that's going on.
Yeah, those but two things. We don't need Congress. I mean, nowadays you can't do the vote. You certify the vote by the people that you have. This is what blockchain ID actually is good for.
Right.
I hate the idea that
let me
ask
you this question. Let me ask you this
question. Do you want to organic Sharpton this guy? I got a 2-minute clip.
Yeah, that's good.
Organic Sharpton. Listen,
the silver-tongued.
Listen, we don't.
Child molester,
we don't.
I mean,
we don't talk politics or try to change shit. But I'll tell you right now, you get rid of that. Corporations are people. Get rid of it. Tobin tax on all transactions on Wall Street. Tobin tax. Minimal. 1 or 2%. You're done. Listen, every single person in America, there's a way for them to understand how much money or tax money you're going to have to pay out in a year based on what your salary is. So let's just keep it simple. Let's say you make $100,000 And 33 and a third of that shit is going back to the government for taxes. That's what it's going to cost you to make your 100. If you want to make 100, it's going to cost you 33 and a third. So you're going to give that up. So you know how you're 33 and a third. You know how much that's worth. That's how much tax money you're worth to the government. But here's the thing. What if you own your tax money? You're going to have to pay 30% of it, but you still own it. And instead of you just doling it out to fuckers to do whatever the fuck they want with it, no. You take the amount of money that you are worth and you pay it into what you want to use it for. So, in other words, if you got to pay X amount of dollars and you need roads in your area, you're going to put your tax money into the road system that's being installed. You're not going to waste your money on figuring out the sex of beetles, in certain living conditions.
Right.
You know what I mean? You're not wasting money on all this shit, and they wouldn't be fucking wasting money at that point.
And everybody would be involved in government, right? You'd have a sense of community. People would be paying attention to everything. And if you took away, you're not taking away Congress. What you're doing is you're making Congress we the people again, right? Because we don't have to ride a horse for 3 weeks to get to Philadelphia.
Exactly.
We can all do it now ourselves. We don't need to send a representative. We can represent ourselves.
Exactly.
So yeah. They're scared to death of that, actually.
Electronic anarchy, man. That's what it is.
Yeah, no doubt.
And that's what it should be. No slaves, no rulers, man. That's the thing. Look, I know people don't like the idea of it, but look, man, when you realize that there's no way around it, period, the end. In the future, everyone will have a positive ID. Period, the end. There's no fucking way around it. You're never going to get away from it. You're never going to avoid it. You're never going to stop it. So once you know that, then what you need to do is realize it now and get ahead of it and start pushing for your ability to vote with a positive ID with electronic blockchain quantum computing. Not, make sure, quantum computing. Because no one's going to hack your identity on a quantum computer. Because people don't have quantum computers just laying around. There's no hackers for quantum computers, is there, Rio? Is there quantum hackers?
I don't think so. There's only a handful of them, so.
That's right. Maybe what's his nuts in Canada? What's that guy's name? Geordie Rose?
Yep, Geordie Rose.
Maybe he can hack.
And my girlfriend, Suzanne Gilder. Yeah, she's not my girlfriend, but yeah. I always joke about her being my girlfriend, though. I mean, that's the kind of girlfriend I want,
Oh, dude. So, I got this clip, right, and it's 2 minutes. And
yeah.
It fades out. It fades out at the end. So, but there's a little tiny bit of, like, they didn't shut the mic off completely on the news clip. Right, so the last thing he says something about the Marxists are going to show you how to run it.
Let's hear. What's his name? Mike Smith.
It's Mike Johnson. It's
Mike
low
Johnson.
audio. Maybe I can amplify it, but I'll just run this little thing here.
I'll
turn it up.
You'll
hear some background noise because I really got to crank it.
Not,
my world, so when I just really run it. And I really was just kind of almost when I just really run it.
Show the Marxists how they really run it.
Yeah.
And I really was just kind of almost overwhelmed with emotion with my world. So when I just really run it.
You hear it?
Mm-hmm.
You hear the Marxists? So I mean, he'll show up with the dark grail.
We are called to forward.
Or they offer the dark grail. I heard him say
it is revered here in the future. There's
thief in the reverse in it, right? So now he's talking about reversing it.
You're saying the history. You're saying
you're sickening.
Yeah, the video with them and I just felt in that moment the weight of this place.
Oh, the first thing I heard him say there is something about a video.
Helps a video with them.
Drops a video with them.
At the weight of this place. Helps a video with them.
Right, so he drops a video with them. Oh, this is gonna get juicy, man. This is gonna get juicy.
And his life signal. I just felt in that. And his life signal.
And a live singer. So something about dropping a video with him and a live singer. What do you know anything about that, Epic?
The live singer thing? No,
Maybe
I just found out about the guy. I looked into his thing about the background adopting the kid. And it's like, dude, that is so sketchy.
It's Taylor Swift.
It might be.
Taylor Swift. All you got to do is say Taylor Swift.
I do have the 25-minute version of this downloading, but so
nice.
Maybe we'll hit that up for Friday night.
Well, you can hit it up tonight, man, for a bit, because we still got some time left. There's like 40 people in the chat. So, you know.
Yeah, I mean, we don't really have a time limit tonight. We can go.
No, we can do whatever we want, man.
So if you guys want to hear a little more,
yeah, let's get.
Seems like it's getting juicy.
Yeah, let's hear a little bit more of this prick.
My nurse says, see a fellow center in the chamber there, and I saw the fellow center
something about the Law Center in the West.
In the chamber there, and I saw the face of Moses.
You saw the face of Moses.
Says, see a fellow center in
Okay, it's unsafe, the Law Center in the West.
Did he say Moses saw the face of Moses going forward or in reverse?
No,
that was forward. The guy's a nutcase, dude.
Saw the face of Moses
he's out of his
going forward.
Fucking mind. Okay, go ahead.
S90 says reverse it until the sun comes up.
Chamber there, and I saw the face of Moses.
Right, so that's the forward.
Says, see a fellow center
Right, so it's unsafe, the Law Center in the West.
Epic Journeyman, what is going on with this dude adopting a 25-year-old?
It's bizarre, right? Well, he was 25 when he adopted the guy who was 14. And the weird thing is, he was in this relationship. He got married to this girl, and they call it a covenant relationship, right? And it's kind of this obscure hyper-Christian thing that people use to marry women that aren't really marrying them. That a lot of times this covenant, what I understand a covenant marriage to be, is a lot of these people that I've known in the past have used that to actually not marry the girl, right? They're not really married, right? It's they made this covenant before God that they're married, right? So I'd like to look into that a little bit.
Yeah, look into that. So S90 said in the chat, the Law Center in the West could mean Washington, D.C. See what I'm saying? So London, D.C., Vatican, Triangle, S90. Good one, S90.
It's made me think of the DC sniper, the 17-year-old black kid that he kind of adopted too, right? I'm not saying this guy's a sniper. Don't get me wrong, but
he might be a cornholer.
There's something.
He might be a cornholer though. He made cornhole.
He says this thing about the Law Center in the West, and the next thing he says right here is, "They mastered the Bible." So interesting.
Huh.
Enraptured by her speech, but I looked up.
Interesting that in the forward he uses "enraptured by her speech," right? So he mentions Moses enraptured by her speech, and backwards he's talking about the Law Center in the West and how they mastered the Bible. This is a little crazy right here. This is a good one. This is a good call, Epic. Good call on this guy.
Right on.
Was winding down on
I heard reversing.
If my memory serves,
rehearsing.
Memory serves, Miss Jackson Lee was
right. So he had some rehearsal. I keep saying rehearsal. But he won't repeat that.
It's been on it, and I want to been on it.
Something's on it. Interesting. So he's had. So they're rehearsing something, right? They're rehearsing some kind of scheme or some plan or something going on here.
Ja, deel. Heb zelf voor 4 die that. That's what you do for forever. For 4 die that. Better get fellas. No, he's get busy with that. I thought that was a big busy with that.
He says, "What's out there?" at the end.
I thought that was a big deal until I figured out better get fellas. No, he's get busy with that.
Something to believe.
I thought that was a big deal until I figured out that's what you do. That better get fellas. No. Until I figured fellas. No, deal.
Okay, I'm just letting you fellas know.
Please get busy with that.
To believe what's out there. Okay.
Master keeps reversing again.
Master keeps us reversing it.
Night to serve here as Speaker Pro Tem. Master keeps reversing.
So the Master keeps him to reverse it.
Inverse it, yeah. He says it straight out. You know, this guy's very articulate. If you listen to him speak, he's from New Orleans, and he doesn't have a Southern accent at all. And I was thinking about that, like how he's extraordinarily articulate, and he could go far if not for this whole covenant wife, 14-year-old kid thing. And I think he's good. I think this is going to come out, man. I don't see how it can.
Well, you know, it's curious now though, because. You know, the Law Center in the West mastered the Bible. There's a rehearsal for something. You know, what is he talking about here?
What's that?
What's up?
Exactly. What is up with that?
That is crazy, man.
What is up?
It is. What is up with that? I mean,
I'm hearing the Saturday Night Live skit. What's up with that? What's up with that? Yeah, totally, man. No, there's something very strange about the guy. There just is, you know, and it's kind of creepy, actually. And I just think that the creepiness is not what the nation needs right now. It's gonna show up, man.
No more cornholers. And I mean, you know, and I mean that in the nicest way. I mean, the game. What is this other game people are playing? People are buying these paddles that cost like $500. And they're playing this game where they hit a ball back and forth. It's almost like tennis, but it's not tennis. It's like ping pong, but it's not ping pong. It's bigger than ping pong, but smaller than tennis. What is it?
It sounds oddly sexual.
It's a racket game. No, it's a racket game.
It's like you see the dominatrix wife dressed up with the paddle, right?
It's all the hipsters are playing this fucking game, and they're buying these paddles that cost like $300. Pickleball, exactly, Cindy.
That's it. Pickleball. Yeah, you know, that's a whole. You know that you're right. That's exactly like cornhole. It's exactly like cornhole. It's become this fad that like people brag about being part of, and it's like this community that you're in the in crowd by being part of. I see it.
It's like you played pickleball or cornhole. Pickleball or cornhole. What's it going to be?
I guess that is the replacement terminology for pizza and hot dogs, maybe.
You know? Yeah.
Hello? What's that? Yo, where's Dookie? Yo, Dookie!
Mike wants a t-shirt that says no more cornhole.
With that. Hold on.
You know. Look, I'm not a member of that community, but it just seems to me like pickleball and cornhole are such obvious references.
That's what I'm saying, persuasion. Man.
You know, I mean, it just seems that way, right? Doesn't it?
Well,
I mean,
I gotta be honest. Like the first time my brother-in-law said, you know, they were gonna go play some cornhole, I didn't know what he meant by that, and I thought it was really, really strange.
Let me ask you this,
because you know, we called it bean toss, man. That's what we always called it over here.
Why would you call it cornhole, right? I mean, seriously, why? Just why?
I was like, what? I didn't know what he was talking about. Like, I didn't even know what it was. But you know, I found out eventually that's what that's how they refer to it out there out in the cornfields.
We have cable.
I mean,
now,
you know
We have
what the
internet.
difference.
You don't need
You
to
know
do
what the
that.
difference is I guess out there in like Ohio and Iowa and those places, they grow corn. Over here we have piles and piles of Mexicans, so it's all about the beans, right? So we use beans in our bean bags. We don't use corn in our bean bags.
Dude, listen. I mean, the cornholing has to stop. It's not. Listen, what are they? Are they?
We need Sally Struthers.
Let me ask
come
you
out
this
and pitch it
question:
for us.
Are they doing cornhole demonstrations down at the local children's reading room or whatever? Are they doing these corn? Because I mean, someone should stop it. Stop the cornholing. You know what I mean?
Well, my question is how big is the cob?
Well, the question is the pickle. Is the mystery pickle, the slippery pickle, man?
Cornhole and pickleball. Yeah, I'm telling you, man. I have to wash myself off. I was like, what the hell is this, man? I feel like I walked into a porn shop.
Okay, Bowling got it right. If you mix the cornhole and the pickleball, you get a cornball.
Cornball. There you go. That's gonna catch on, dude. That is.
So what's gonna be, Bob? We're gonna go down and play some pickleball, or we're gonna cornhole?
Got a pretty mouth.
Get yourself a couple of beers.
Is this Steve Martin by chance?
No.
Steve Martin plays a ripping version of this. That's why I'm asking.
I know he does. Well, maybe we'll play it tomorrow on the Wake and Bake. Anyways, I thought that'd be funny with all this cornhole talking. You know.
Can you imagine how this is going to go over? Like when it comes out, like he's like a Senator Craig kind of guy, right? Like he's going to be foot stomping in the bathroom, and this is like they went through all this time, 3 weeks to get a new speaker, and then they get this guy, and it turns out he's some kind of freak, dude. And he is. That's
He is.
I
think we've taken cornholing to a new level tonight on the show. I mean, we've really gone deep into the cornhole. On this one.
Unfortunately, yeah, we've gone beyond the regulation size of the cornhole bag there, and that's the whole thing. Like, it's actually got regulation how many ounces it has to weigh, and they have like the plastic beads now to make sure it's weighted properly for each bag. You have the competitive cornhole league.
I think you have a little too much knowledge about the cornhole epic.
Because I looked it up because of this thing. Yeah. I went on down the rabbit hole.
Do you think?
Cornhole.
Let me ask you this question, man. I mean, because I'm just sitting here and I'm playing this dueling banjos and I'm watching. Actually, since we're on YouTube, I can put this on YouTube. Let me put this on YouTube. Into the cornholioism, into the cornholio-cosm. Good one, man. Into the cornholio-cosm.
Into the cornholio-cosm.
No, but what I was gonna say is, I'm sitting here and I'm seeing Burt Reynolds, and I'm thinking to myself, Burt Reynolds was a pretty good looking dude. I'm wondering if he had to play cornhole to get into the movie game.
I'm pretty sure he did, man.
I'm wondering if maybe
I think pretty much every one of them does, dude.
Well, I'm just saying that you see him and he looks manly, but maybe realistically, he wasn't as manly as you thought he was. I'm just saying. Here, let me put it on the screen. The dueling banjos video. Oh, wait a minute. The dude's about to play cornhole. That's disgusting, man. I didn't mean to put it right there. Here, let me back it up and find this strapping young Burt Reynolds. Like when he was in Longest Yard. Like that era Burt Reynolds. Not like, what was that movie? Smokey and the Bandit.
Pornhead Betty.
Yeah, not
Smokey and the Bandit.
Yeah, not Smokey and the Bandit, but this dude with the vest. You know, he's got his. What is it? The the flotation device, the vest, you know, but he's got no shirt on underneath. He's just walking around, his biceps hanging out, you know.
It's very covenant wife. Yeah, totally.
Do they make you like when you play cornhole? Do they do it at knife point? Looks like they.
Not that I know of. I didn't see that.
All
part,
right.
but,
Well, I just want to make sure. Oh shit! I gotta say, man. When you went and saw this movie when it came out, because I know you saw it when it came out.
I was a little kid when it came out.
That's what I mean. You went and saw it when you were a little kid. Someone took you to see it. They're like, "Hey, we're going to see Deliverance tonight." You go down there and you're just a kid and you're watching this movie. You know what I mean? This is the kind of shit they used to just show you, man. On the
Oh
screen.
no, it's traumatic, dude. I remember.
Are you kidding?
I didn't
It's
see it when it came
traumatic
out in
now.
theater. But yeah, that whole rape scene with Ned Beatty, yeah,
That's
it's
what I
like,
mean. That's
dude,
what I'm saying.
You need to put a warning before you go in the movie theater or before you rent the video, that kind of thing.
Dude, it's
Squeal, little piggy.
oh man,
Yeah.
No, man, it's not good at all. It's like, I don't know. It's too much, man. It's all too
They don't call it the Deep South for nothing.
Hello? So what's up, B?
What's up?
Okay, so I got to do this just because I actually just hit this by accident as I was moving the windows around. Right, the reverse thing here. The next thing he says is his penis lied to me. Here we go.
What?
Of course.
Listen.
Yeah, no more tyranny.
Right, that's right after that's the end of the reverse one. So the next one.
It fell to me.
It failed to meet his penis lied to me.
It fell to me to
His penis did something. I don't know, but there's clearly a penis there.
it fell to me to
I think we're going to hear a lot more of this kind of thing in the coming months. I don't think it's going to last coming months. I don't think it's going to make it, dude. I think it's going to be gone by Christmas, probably. I do.
Yeah.
It's just there's too many weird things about the guy that we're finding without even really trying to look. And I guarantee you, there's people looking now.
Well, I will definitely do the longer version of this.
Man, it doesn't even matter with these people, man. Remember that dude, man, Anthony Weiner?
Yeah.
Come on, man.
I think he's in jail now, isn't he? I mean, he's
he's got a radio show now.
Does he?
He never went
how is
to.
he back up the radio show?
He never even went to
He's
jail.
got a radio show.
And he even looks like a freaky dude. You know what I mean? Like he's stereotypical freaky. That's the thing.
It's just nothing happened.
He's on 77 WABC here in New York, our number one AM station on talk radio.
What was that? What was that lady?
He has a daytime radio show, Anthony Weiner.
They just got some video of one of these congresswomen with her tits out, you know, drinking, partying.
Wasn't our favorite New York retard? Excuse me, that's a bad word. AOC,
Nancy
right?
Mace. No, it's Nancy Mace.
No, she was just wiping her chin or whatever, playing cornhole. I don't know, man.
Dude.
It's the top of the hour. Do you guys want to continue?
Yeah, we could.
So now, wasn't Anthony Weiner the boyfriend of Hillary Clinton's sex slave?
Yeah. He was. What's her name? Yeah, she's still around.
Huma Aberdeen.
Yep, Aberdeen. Yep.
Yeah.
No, I think they're married. They weren't boyfriend. Married. Covenant wife, though. Not sure.
Fuck. You know, I couldn't believe that whole thing. What I was telling you the other day about Bill Graham, because Bill Graham, you know, Huey Lewis was playing a show at the Concord Pavilion, and he sold it out, and then they added a second show, and then Huey sold out the second show, and then because Bill Graham, the kind of guy he was, he fucking flew out there in a helicopter to go have a drink with Huey and thank him and all this. And then when he was out there, Huey Lewis told him, "Don't take the helicopter back." And he did, and a fucking helicopter crashed. And it's interesting because there's a shitload of people who died in helicopter crashes, man.
Well, no, flying back from an event, yeah, exactly, from an event, just to even the airport. That's a story. never take a helicopter ride from Eric Clapton. There's a whole thing about that, right? Where where they died going back in the helicopter to all the people who took the helicopter.
Rio, type in a search, Rio, of people who died in helicopter crashes, because there's a whole. I think there's like 20 people have died. 20 celebrities have died in helicopter crashes.
Yeah, and most recently Kobe Bryant, right?
Yeah,
but, you know, the thing about it is that it's very hard to die in a helicopter crash, generally speaking, with a qualified helicopter pilot, because it's called auto rotate. If you lose power, unlike a fixed wing aircraft, you can actually auto rotate down where the props are still spinning, you know, the blades, and what happens is that you can land and survive if the guy knows what he's doing. Right? So,
Troy Gentry was one. He
listen,
was a musician.
I'm just thinking.
Right?
I'm just thinking of you. You know, imagine you're sitting in one of these helicopters. You know the ones with the bubble, like the outside. It's got the old ones from the 70s.
Right. You hear the 70s music play in the background.
Exactly.
TV show intro.
Imagine being in one of those with, and you're sitting in the back seat and you're just doing like a tour of the city or whatever. And all of a sudden the dude is flying the helicopter, starts rubbing his head, starts having a Vietnam flashback, starts going, "We're going down, we're going down." You just fucking man, that'd be some terrifying shit, man. Have you ever been in a helicopter? Oh, I know you have, Epic. What about you, Rio?
I think once, maybe twice.
It's really loud, man.
Dude,
I think I took one of them, like, carnival ride, helicopter rides, kind of. Well, not a carnival ride, but like fly around the neighborhood kind of rides.
Fucking,
like once.
I shit you not, man. After I got sick, I was trying to figure out something to do, because I didn't want to do the same thing. It's like, fucking, I'm gonna do something different. So I was looking at shit to do, and there was this school. There was a helicopter school, and you could go there, and they would teach you how to fly a helicopter, and then they would get you a job after. And like I was fucking considering that shit. And I was like looking into it, and I was getting all into it. I was like, "Fuck yeah, man! I want to be a fucking helicopter pilot." And I was looking at all their videos, and they're showing these fuckers training, doing maneuvers and shit and all this stuff. And then apparently something happened to this helicopter school, and they went bankrupt. And so
the helicopters crashed.
So my dreams were squashed. But
no, I tried to do it too. When I was joining the military, Air Force was never there because I wanted to be a pilot, and that's the first sign that you should join the Air Force, probably. If the recruiter's never there, it's because they met their quota, because it's cool, right? So you're stuck with the Navy and the Army or the Marines. And there's a warrant officer program back then to fly Apaches. Well, they say it's for flying Apaches, but people fly a cargo helicopter for all you know. But yeah, there's still a warrant officer program. And now that's what it came down to. Was on that. I gave up on the Navy fighter pilot program because it's 12 years, man. 12 and a half years, actually, that you obligate yourself for. And a 17-year-old kid's not going to do 12 and a half years, man. Sorry. Right. So yeah, it was that or submarines, and I ended up on submarines. But yeah, I was down to it on helicopters. So I learned a lot about helicopters. And yeah, helicopter, I mean, it's hard, a qualified helicopter pilot, it's really hard to crash a helicopter pilot. into the side of a building or something, you know, unless that's what you're doing. To crash a helicopter is pretty hard. You can hover too long and displace the air, and you'll lose your lift. You'll just drop. That's one thing that can happen. But if you know what you're doing, that shouldn't happen. And then, you know, if you lose power, you can auto rotate down, and you should be able to walk away from it. I mean, you should. You're not going to have stability as you're going down, but you have lift.
I did the same thing with truck driving. I said, you know, man, it's like, fuck it, man. I'll just fucking go drive a truck, man. Just get my dog, go in a truck, and just sit there and fucking drive. Just drive, and make money. So I started looking into it. You know, there's all these places they'll train you and shit for free, and then you got to drive for them afterwards. So I started looking into it. I started looking at all these truck drivers, you know, and then pretty soon I got into all these YouTube videos, and I watched them for like a week. All these fuckers that became truck drivers and like decided they didn't want to or whatever. And after watching these YouTube videos, you know, I went through the whole thing. It was like I went through it, yet I didn't have to actually experience the heartache of it. You know what I mean? It's like, you know, once I realized, you know, now it wasn't going to be for me, man. You know, it's a dangerous situation with them trucks, man. You don't want to fuck with those trucks because you're not making any money. You know what I mean? Especially now, $6 a gallon, fucking diesel.
We have a lot of trucker listeners.
You want subversion on a map.
Here. When you were talking about that, were you talking about being a pilot, being a gun pilot, being a Top Gun?
I totally qualified for the program, but it's 12 and a half years, man. No.
This is what it reminded me of. When you were telling me that just now, this is what it reminded me of right here.
About what genre does it take?
What like the spine?
The spine.
Like one sentence.
What's the film about? What's it really about? What genre does it take?
What like the spine?
The spine.
Like one sentence. Like
no, I don't fucking Boy Meets Girl. I don't give a shit about that. Fuck Boy Meets Girl. Fuck motorcycle movie. No, what is really being said? What's really being seen? That's what you were talking about. Because the whole idea, man, is subversion. You want subversion on a massive level. You know what one of the greatest fucking scripts ever written in the history of Hollywood is?
What?
Top Gun.
Oh, come on.
Top Gun is fucking great. What is Top Gun? You think it's a story about a bunch of fighter pilots?
Yeah, it's about a bunch of guys waving their dicks around.
It is a story about a man's struggle with his own homosexuality. I'm serious. That is what Top Gun is about, man. You've got Maverick, all right? He's on the edge, man. He's right on the fucking line, all right? And you've got Iceman and all his crew.
Right.
They're gay. They represent the gay man,
right.
All right? And they're saying, go the gay way, go the gay way. He could go both ways.
What about Kelly McGillis? Right?
Kelly McGillis, she's heterosexuality. She's saying, no. Go the normal way. Play by the rules, go the normal way. And they're saying, no, go the gay way. Be the gay way. Go for the gay way. All right? That is what's going on throughout that whole movie.
What is this party? Who are these people that make me sick? What is that? Who are you? Who are you? What is he wearing? It's some kind of like dance jumpsuit, freakish little gaucho. Let's go to Spain and dance with our arms over our heads and...
He goes to her house, right? All right. It looks like they're going to have sex. You know, they're just kind of sitting back. He's taking a shower and everything. They don't have sex. He gets on the motorcycle, drives away. She's like, what the fuck? What the fuck is going on here?
Right.
Next scene you see her. She is in the elevator. She is dressed like a guy. She's got the cap on. She's got the aviator glasses. She's wearing the same jacket that the Iceman wears. She is, okay, this is how I got to get this guy. This guy's going towards the gay way. So I got to bring him back. I got to bring him back from the gay way. So I'm going to do that through subterfuge. I'm going to dress like a man. All right? That is how she approaches it.
Right.
Okay. But let me just ask you, I'm going to digress for just 2 seconds here. But, I met this girl, Amy, here. She's like floating around here and everything. Now, she's got...
Did you ever see that movie, Sleep With Me?
I don't think I have. I've seen the parody of the gay Top Gun thing, though. It's awesome.
Well,
I've seen the movie. And
yeah,
we've played that clip on the show before too.
Yeah, many times. But the movie is pretty good, and it was made with Craig Sheffer. Made it with his credit card, and there's a bunch of actors and young actors in it that later on, after this movie, they became more popular. But yeah, so Sleep With Me. Quentin Tarantino's in it for about 5 minutes. This is about the only 5 minutes he's in it, right here. Yeah. So you got some more shit on this dude or what?
I haven't done more, but
I was playing that there, so you had time to dig deeper on him.
We got time. As long as the speaker of the house, we're gonna have a lot of audio, right? So hopefully we have a lot of audio. I don't know.
Like I said, the one I grabbed first was this like 2-minute clip when he first got on. That's why it faded out at that one spot. But his whole speech is like 25 minutes long. So
yeah, man.
So that'll be the Friday night. We'll dive deep. We'll dive deep into the cornhole on Friday night.
Going deep.
Tales from the cornhole.
All right, well, let's get out of here.
That'll be Friday night segment, Tales from the Cornhole.
So let's get out of here, man, because we got to come back in the morning at 32 degrees. But why don't you look at the Fillmore East, and I'll look at the Fillmore West, and we'll look at Bill Graham tomorrow on second hour on Wake and Bake.
Yeah, yep. And actually, one interesting tidbit about Bill Graham is that his lawyer was also one of Donald Trump's lawyers.
Yeah, Cohen.
Yep, exactly.
Exactamundo. I know. There's a lot there, man.
Yeah, there definitely is.
All right. And then he just died mysteriously. A fucking helicopter crash.
In a weather-induced incident.
We're going down, man. We're going down. All right. We'll see you in the morning.
Yeah.